In this lecture, we are going to find out the expression of magnetic field due to a solenoid on its axis. In the previous case, we discussed about the magnetic field due to a current carrying circular coil. So number of turns over there was just equal to 1. So what if you have large number of turns and you want to find the magnetic field on the axis, on any point on this axis of the solenoid? So how do we find it? So this second diagram which I have drawn, this represents the same first diagram. So these dots, they represent the coils as it is shown over here. The coils, they come in the forward direction and then they go inside the paper, and again it comes out of the paper, again it goes inside. So these points, they represent the turns, and N are the number of turns in unit length of this solenoid. So if you take a unit length of this solenoid, N will be the number of turns present. Then capital R is the radius of each turn. So this distance is equal to capital R. Now we want to find out the expression of magnetic field at any point on the axis. So this is the axis of the solenoid, and P is the observation point where we want to find out the magnetic field. Now over here, this end of the solenoid is represented by capital M, and this second end of the solenoid is represented by capital L. And over here, the coordinate system that we are taking, this coordinate system, its origin lies on one end of the solenoid. So you can see that this O origin is lying on this M end of the solenoid. So this is lying just at the end of the solenoid. And you want to find out the magnetic field at this point. So to find out the expression of magnetic field, we will divide this solenoid into small sections. So let's consider one section over here. So this is a small section, elementary part of the solenoid of length equal to dx. So this section of the solenoid which we have taken, this elementary part, this has length equal to dx, and this dx is very small. And first of all, what you will do is you will find out the expression of magnetic field at this point P due to this elementary part of the solenoid. So whatever will be the number of turns present in this part, corresponding to those number of turns, we will find out the magnetic field at this point P, and then we will do integration over the whole solenoid. That will give us the total magnetic field, the net expression of magnetic field at this point on the axis of the solenoid. So first of all, we will suppose elementary part of the solenoid of length equal to dx, and this elementary part is at a distance of x from the origin of the coordinate system. So this elementary length is at a distance of x from the origin. So this distance is equal to x. And the OP length, the distance of the observation point from the origin of the coordinate system, this whole length is given by x naught. So what will be this length? So as we have said that this dx length is very small. So this length is very small. So what will be this length? This length will be just equal to x naught minus x. So this will be x naught minus x. And the distance of this point from this R point. So R point is on the solenoid. So this point is present on the solenoid. So what is the distance of this point from the observation point? That is equal to small r. So this we have already seen in the previous lecture, that we have a current carrying coil, and we found out the expression of magnetic field at an observation point P, which was at a distance of x from the center of the coil. And this distance was supposed to be equal to small r, and this was equal to capital R. So same thing is over here. Here what you have is, you have elementary part of the solenoid. Instead of a single coil, Instead of a single coil, now you have elementary part of the solenoid which has some number of turns present in it, and the point P, in both the cases the point P is present on the axis. But in this particular case, the distance of the observation point from the center of the coil, this was equal to x, but in this case the distance of this point from here is equal to x naught minus x. So this will look something like this. So you will have a right angle triangle over here. This distance is equal to x naught minus x, and this distance is equal to r, and the radius of each turn of the solenoid is equal to capital R. Now from this diagram, firstly we will suppose that the angle over here, this angle which is made by this RP length with the axis of the solenoid, let's suppose this angle is equal to theta. So this OPR angle, this angle, this is equal to theta. So in this triangle also this angle will be equal to theta. Now in the expression that we derived in the previous lecture, for the case of a circular coil, the number of turns were equal to 1. So for this coil, what was the expression of magnetic field at this point? So the expression of magnetic field came out to be equal to I cap mu naught I r square divided by twice of r square plus x square power 3 by 2. So this was the expression that we derived. Now in this case, mu naught I r square, r is the radius of this coil, and in this case r is the radius of each turn. And in this expression we had x. But what was x? X was the distance of the observation point from the center of the coil. So the same formula we will use in this case also to find out the magnetic field due to this section, only due to this section. So only due to this section, what will be the expression of magnetic field? That will be just similar to this. But the difference will be that in this case number of turns were equal to 1, but what will be the number of turns in this particular case? So as we have said that n are the number of turns present in unit length, and what is the length? Small elementary length, that is equal to dx. So what will be the number of turns in just this section of the solenoid? That will be equal to n dx. So these are the number of turns which are present in this section, and we want to find out the expression of magnetic field due to this section at this point P. So what will be the formula? Formula will remain the same. So dB vector, which is the magnetic field due to this elementary part of the solenoid at this point P, so that will be I cap mu naught as it is, capital I as it is, r square as it is, divide by 2, then r square as it is, plus we have x square, but x was the distance of the observation point from the center of the coil, and in this case the distance of the observation point from the center of this elementary part of the solenoid is equal to x naught minus x. So instead of x we will write x naught minus x. So we will have x naught minus x whole square power 3 by 2 as it is. Now what is this r square plus x square? So if you will look into this triangle, what is r square plus x square? That is nothing but small r square, which is Pythagoras theorem. So similar thing will be over here. What is r square plus x naught minus x whole square? R square plus x naught minus x whole square is nothing but equal to small r square. So this expression can be written in terms of small r. So that will be small r square. So r square plus x naught minus x whole square is nothing but small r square. Then square and this square root will cancel, and you will be just left with r cube. So this OPR angle which we have supposed, this angle OPR, this angle is equal to theta. Now over here, what are the limits of theta? So now what will be the main task of this derivation is to find all the variables which are present over here in terms of theta. So in this expression, what do we have as a variable? The variable is just small r. So r will vary as if you will take the elementary length over here. So if instead of here, if you take the elementary section over here, in that case what will be r? R will be this length from the observation point. So that will be one limit of r, and another limit of r will be this one. So if the elementary section is present over here on the other end of the solenoid, then what will be r? R will be this one. So as you can see that r is varying in this case. But we cannot solve this expression. So the way to find the total magnetic field due to this solenoid is to convert this variable in terms of theta, because the derivation will become more easy in that case. So we will find r in terms of theta. Now what are the limits of theta? As you can see that if this elementary length is present on this end, in that case this distance would be equal to small r, as in this case this distance is equal to small r. So if this elementary section is present on this end, in that case this length will be equal to small r. So what will be the angle? Angle will be equal to theta 1, let's suppose. So angle is theta 1. Now if this elementary section is present on the other end, let's say if it is present over here, then what will be the value of theta? So in that case this will be equal to small r, the distance of this point from the observation point. So this distance would be equal to small r in that case. So what would be the angle? Angle will be this one. And this angle, let's suppose, is theta 2. So these are the limits of theta. Theta 1 and theta 2. Theta 1 is the lower limit, and as you can see that as we are moving in this direction, theta is increasing. So what is the upper limit of theta? That is theta 2. So what are the limits of theta? Lower limit is theta 1 and upper limit is theta 2. So now what we will do is we will write this r in terms of theta, and then we will use the limits of theta from theta 1 to theta 2 so that we can find the expression of magnetic field due to the whole solenoid. So to find out the expression of r in terms of theta, we will use this triangle. Now in this case what is known to us is capital R. Capital R is fixed in the whole derivation because this is the radius of each turn and it will be constant throughout the derivation. So let's find r in terms of theta. So you want to find r in terms of theta, and capital R is constant. So we will use perpendicular over hypotenuse. So perpendicular over hypotenuse is nothing but sine theta. So sine of theta is equal to perpendicular capital R divided by hypotenuse, which is small r. So sine theta has come out to be this. Now what will be small r? Small r will be equal to r cosecant theta. So small r from here will become capital R into cosecant theta. Now one more thing over here, as we have said that this expression of magnetic field is just because of a single coil, because of a single circular coil. But over here we are finding this magnetic field. This magnetic field is due to this elementary part of the solenoid, and in this elementary part of the solenoid we have n into dx number of turns. So what will be the magnetic field at this point due to this whole elementary length? That will be just equal to this expression times the number of turns, which is n dx. So times n dx. So in this formula r is the variable. Now dx is also a variable. So as we have seen that over here this is the distance x. So x is a variable, means if this elementary length is present over here just at this point, x will be equal to 0, and if the elementary length is present over here, in that case x will be equal to the total length of the solenoid. Now we want to find, as we have found r, in terms of theta. So we will try to find out dx also in terms of theta. So we will use this same triangle. Over here we want to find is dx in terms of theta. So for that we will find x in terms of theta. Now over here we have theta, capital R is constant, and we have x naught minus x. So we will use perpendicular over base. So what will be the trigonometric ratio we will be using? Will be tan theta. So tan theta will be equal to perpendicular over base, which is x naught minus x. So from here you will get x naught minus x is equal to r cot of theta. Now let's do its derivative because we want to find dx. So x naught is constant, capital R is constant over here. So let's find out the derivative of this expression. So you will get minus dx is equal to, minus dx will be equal to capital R. What is the derivative of cot of theta? That is cosecant square theta d theta. So what will be dx? Dx will be nothing but minus r cosecant square theta d theta. Now dB vector, this will become the expression of magnetic field due to this elementary part of the solenoid at this point P will become I cap. Now you will substitute all these expressions over here. So you will substitute the expression of dx, then you will substitute the expression of small r. So what you will get is dB vector is equal to I cap mu naught by 2 n mu naught by 2 capital I sine theta d theta. So this will be the expression of magnetic field due to the elementary part of the solenoid. Now in this formula, n is constant, mu naught is constant, I is constant. So what is the variable? The only variable that we have is theta. And we know that theta varies from theta 1 to theta 2. So theta 1 is this angle and theta 2 is this angle. So the limits of theta are from theta 1 to theta 2. So if you want to find out the magnetic field due to the whole solenoid, in that case you will do integration of dB vector. So integration of dB vector, and when you will solve this and also writing the limits, so you have to write down the limits along with this. So what is dB vector? That is I cap mu naught n mu naught I by 2, then sine theta d theta, and what are the limits? Theta 1 to theta 2. So when you will solve this expression, so you will solve it by yourself. So when you will solve it, you will get magnetic field due to this solenoid at any point on its axis is given by I cap n mu naught I by 2 times cos of theta 1 minus cos of theta 2. So this is the final expression of solenoid. Magnetic field due to a solenoid at a point on its axis. Now we are going to look at 3 special cases for the case of a solenoid. So the first case is when the observation point P, this observation point P, it lies on this M end of the solenoid. So if you have infinitely long solenoid, so we are supposing that you have infinitely long solenoid and this point P is present on this end of the solenoid, on this M end of the solenoid. So what will be the magnetic field expression at this point? So when this P point is present over here and this solenoid is infinite, so if this P point is present, the observation point is present over here, now what will be the limits of theta? So as you can see, theta 1 is the angle which is made by this P with this point. So if this P is present over here, so what will be theta 1 angle? That will be this one. The angle which is made by this length with the axis, as in this case also the angle which was made by this length with the axis of the solenoid, that is theta 1. So if this observation point is present over here, then what will be the angle? Theta 1, that will be just 90 degree. The length, the angle which is made by this length with the axis of the solenoid, so that will be 90 degree. So what will be cos theta 1? cos of theta 1 will be cos of 90 degree, which will be 0. Now what will be theta 2 in that case? So if the observation point is present over here, then what will be theta 2? So you will join this point, observation point, with this end. So as you can see, theta 2, this is the angle which is made by this length with the axis. So if the observation point is moved over here, then what will be theta 2? Theta 2 will be this angle, the angle made by this whole length with the axis. So that will be theta 2. But if we are supposing that the solenoid is infinite, in that case this theta 2 will approach to 180 degrees. So in that case theta 2 will be 180 degrees. So what will be cos of theta 2? So cos of theta 2 will be equal to minus 1. So when you will put the expression, so when you will put these values, the expression will become b vector is equal to I cap n mu naught I divide by 2 into 0 minus of minus 1, that will be just plus 1. So this will be the expression of magnetic field when this observation point P is present on this M end of the solenoid and the solenoid is supposed to be infinitely long. So this will be the expression of magnetic field. Now what if the solenoid is infinitely long and P point, it lies just in the middle of the solenoid? So in that case what will be theta 1? So theta 1 will be approximately equal to 0. So theta 1 when you have infinitely long solenoid. So this infinitely long means the solenoid goes to minus infinity as well as it goes to plus infinity. So we have infinitely long solenoid. So what will be theta 1? So theta 1 will approach to 0 and theta 2 will approach to 180 degrees. So when the solenoid is infinitely long, this theta 1 will tend to 0 and this theta 2, this will tend to 180 degrees. So cos of theta 1 means cos of 0 degrees, this will be approximately equal to 1 in that case, and cos of theta 2, that will be equal to minus 1 because theta 2 will be equal to 180 degrees. So cos of theta 2 will be approximately equal to 1. So cos of theta 1 will be equal to 1, cos of theta 2 will be equal to minus 1 because theta 1 is approximately equal to 0 and theta 2 is approximately equal to 180 degrees. So cos of theta 1 will be equal to 1 and cos of theta 2 will be equal to minus 1. So what will be the expression of magnetic field? When you will solve it, you will get B vector is equal to I cap and mu naught into I. So this is the expression of magnetic field when you have infinitely long solenoid and this P point is present inside the solenoid on its axis. Now the last case is when the observation point lies on the L end of the solenoid. On this L end of the solenoid and the solenoid goes to infinity in this direction. So in that case, what will be theta 1? Theta 1 in that case will approach to 0. And theta 2 in that case will become equal to 90 degrees. So cos of theta 1 will be equal to 1 and cos of theta 2 will be equal to 0. So what will be magnetic field? Magnetic field will be equal to I cap and mu naught I divide by 2. So these are the special cases in the case of a solenoid.